Hi and welcome back. In previous episodes, we covered the trilemma problem that industries are trying to solve, which is cost, efficiency, and scale, by ensuring that they're completely secured, which is our fourth element and the secret sauce. In the next episodes and this, we will try and cover what BFSI sector in particular are focusing on, are interested about, and using AI and Gen AI to drive positive outcomes within their businesses, processes, and how they reach out to their customers. We will dive deep into such use cases and talk about some of the successful stories and case studies. In terms of organizations and the latest published reports, we understand that banking and financial industries are at about 40% of their maturity in terms of AI adoption. Whereas, if I compare it with an automotive organization, they're already inching at 60%. What does this data talk about? It clearly shows a trend that our friends at BFSI are wanting to see successes more than the failures. This inches and provoked us to help organizations achieve the trilemma problem that we had addressed in the previous episodes. In terms of the use cases, organizations like banks, insurance, and AMCs are pretty much focusing in the back office operations. By that I mean example processes being document management, being able to do OCR of their typical invoices, contracts, and transferring and extracting information out of them. For example, for AMCs, we could also have a research assistant or an investment co-pilot, as I would call it, who would go ahead, scan the market, identify the market sentiments, help us understand what is happening in the market, distill that information, and present it to you as an investment banker. Now that in itself is a huge time saver and of a huge value. Let's shift gears to insurance organizations. In terms of insurance organizations, 70 to 80% of their time and money goes into operations. By that I mean managing and maintaining the workforce, the documents, the processes that then converge into the policy that you see in your hands. What if I could introduce agentic AI who could interview you, understand your queries, and then create an underwriter assistant that could create and draft policies for you? Isn't that great? And that is exactly what we aim or can aim for insurance organizations. In terms of banking themselves, there are a lot of regulatory tech that is going through. For example, imagine that every organization in terms of fintech or banks today processing payments have to comply to ISO 20022. By that, they already understand that they have to undergo a huge data transformation exercise. But what if I could create a small language model that understands the ISO model and schema? You can pump in any format, it transforms that data into ISO format. Isn't that cool? And that is exactly where we have built PaymentsGPT. Things like these would help organizations go ahead and understand how and what could be those critical value and business outcomes that they can extract by using AI. And I would rather say a very simple matrix that they could use to create and understand what to prioritize. And I would create it by just a simple matrix where I would say risk at my x-axis and value at my y-axis. If my risk is higher and the value is very high, I would rather not consider those use cases. Rather, if I have a low risk but a high value, this is exactly what I would consider as a sweet spot. You could have multiple ways to drive at this conclusion, but I would start with a very simple matrix like this to prioritize your business needs. Well, some of the biggest hurdles to organizations like BFSI or in general has been the lack of people and the skills that are available in the market. The other challenge being the data centers themselves that could support AI workloads and those processing powers that is needed. This is another challenge for another day though, where sustainability is linked to how AI can be used. Now let me talk about some of the problems that we could think of solving. What if we could introduce a low-code, no-code platform for business users to themselves try, create applications, test, fail fast, and create value? Wouldn't that be great? And this is one of the ways you could help your existing workforce become more AI savvy, as I would call it. The whole idea of industry adapting to AI-powered data centers is one side of the story alone. The AI data centers themselves require so much of compute, electricity, and energy that you would be amazed to know that a data center alone, a size of a football field for AI, could consume the entire electricity of Texas. So the whole idea of how do you optimize, run these models, have the right workforce run these models, and help organization to overcome this is three-pronged. I would rather say when you see at risk, I would also add people, technology, and learning and development across the risk profiles as well. I would rather say that we as organization should start to have a dedicated curriculum for learning and development, the right technology to support your people, and the right people with the right mindset who want to learn. Curiosity would always win. And these are some of the secret sauces that we are practicing and helping organizations with. BFSI leaders today are struggling with a major problem, and that is, like I emphasized in the previous question, which is people, technology, and the learning and development, and the lack of the whole workforce itself. What we could do though is introduce something that we ourselves at New Summit are embarking upon, which is HI to the power AI. Now by this, it simply means, what if I could empower the human intelligence to and with the power of AI? This is exponential, not linear. And this is exactly what we mean, what business leaders could take care of. What if I could give you an entire arsenal of AI accelerators that could help you bring your people and the workforce be more capable and agile in terms of adapting to AI? And this is exactly our mantra for success. We would like any organization to think people first. And with that I mean people to the power AI. And when we go and embark upon this journey, tools and technologies by default be their allies. This is our concept of how we intend to empower people and the processes, and for our organizations likewise, where we introduce the right understanding of AI, the right tools to empower the people with the AI skill sets that they are gaining. This is exactly what we intend to bring as a value. So what we would like to also cover further in the next episodes is all about busting the myths and the fads that Gen AI needs GPUs, that Gen AI is very tricky to solve. There are a lot of hallucinations, there are a lot of risks, there is a lot of cost involved to run a Gen AI or an AI program for that matter. We don't have the right skill sets for the people, and thereby I cannot have the right outcome. We will try and address all of these and give you real-world examples that we have been able to deliver positive and orchestrate those outcomes as New Summit.